there vowing to continue protesting until power is restored to their community. The outages started last week. Residents say the city of Ekurhuleni failing to address the problem. Earlier, police fired rubber bullets and stun grenades to disperse the crowd. Our reporter Manqoba Mchunu is following developments. He's been there for the day and he joins us now. Manqoba, thank you so much for joining us. I wonder if you could just start by telling us what sparked this protest and what has been happening today in the area.
Well, so what we understand is that the issue that really started this protest is the ongoing power outages here in the area. And community members telling us, Sally, that a transformer here had exploded months ago, about 8 months ago, and that's where the electricity problem started. They've been having these long outages on days at end, and they're saying that, Sally, sometimes when power goes off during load shedding, it doesn't come back in this community. They'll have to spend about 6 to 8 hours waiting for power to be restored, and when it does get restored, Sally, it doesn't really last that long. It will be off again the next day, and sometimes they go on days on end without any power. And in fact, we understand, Sally, that it has been 4 days this community has not had any electricity, and many of the community members saying that the reason why they've now decided to take to the street is because they've been trying to raise this issue with the city of Ekurhuleni, but the city has not been addressing this issue, and in the meantime they are the ones that are suffering because their food items are getting rotten in the fridges. Also, they're saying that life has become difficult because even to cook has become difficult for them because of the power issue in this community. So the protest that we understand started on Friday. It has been going on since then, and these community members are now saying that they are shutting down this particular area. And earlier on, Sally, we saw this protest turning violent with one of the customer care centers from the city being torched down by these residents, and police were quick to act, although it had caught fire at the time. So they also attacked one of the shops here and looted one of the big chain stores here in the area, where several items were stolen in that particular shop. And it's really been a running battle between the police and the community members. Police trying to disperse them, but community members refusing to disperse. They're saying that the protest will continue up until this issue has been resolved. And Sally, earlier on, we also did see the community members going to the N17, disrupting traffic on the N17, but police also coming in to try and quell the situation. So as it stands, Sally, the protesters are still here on the streets. They are refusing to disperse. They're saying that they won't go home or they won't disperse up until their issues have been resolved.
All right, so let's just take a quick listen to what the residents are in fact saying.
We chase him away because it's not relevant to to electricity. His task is to his energy. He's also it's not electricity. You understand what I'm saying? So we will be patient for that 24 hours at this present moment. I'm sure the 24 hours. We can be patient for 24 hours, but by tomorrow, we need a way forward. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what we need.
All right, so people of KwaThema wanting answers, clearly fed up with the electricity problem. Is it possible, are they drawing a line between the troubles that they're facing on the ground and the way the city is being run? I mean, I've just mentioned that the DA speaker has won back his position after being ousted in a motion of no confidence recently. He went to court, and today he actually has won back his position. We know that the DA mayor in Ekurhuleni, Tanya Campbell, has been hanging on by a thread, managed to get herself reinstated. There's a lot of turbulence within the city council. Are residents feeling that on the ground? Are they saying that's the reason they're having the problems they are, or is this something they've lived with for many years?
Well, so the residents have made it quite clear that, they disapprove of the way things are being run in this particular city, more especially by the DA-led municipality. They said, Sally, that ever since the DA has taken over this particular metro, there has been problem after problem when it comes to service delivery, more especially in African areas or black African areas or townships, so to speak, Sally. They're saying that the services here are non-existent, and that this particular government is not paying any attention to their needs as community members. In fact, some of the community members saying that they want the DA-led coalition government to go from the city because it's simply not servicing these communities. So it does go to that issue, Sally, of the politics at play here in this city, and also how this has affected service delivery on the ground, because these people are saying that ever since there have been these issues in the city, ever since the DA has taken control of the city, there has been no service delivery at all, or there's been reluctance to act on some of their issues or address their issues hastily. And that's the reason why, Sally, they say that they've taken to the streets because they have been raising this issue for the past 8 months, but for the past 8 months nothing has happened. And this is the reason why they're saying now they're not going to stop this protest up until that issue is resolved. And earlier on, Sally, we saw the MMC for roads and transport here in Ekurhuleni trying to calm the situation. He tried to address some of those residents, but they were not willing to hear him. He was heckled, he was booed by those residents, and he had come to say to them that, Sally, they are going to try and bring in this transformer that was broken within the next 24 hours. But as soon as they started talking, the residents did not want to listen. In fact, they had gone as far as chasing him away. Sally, in the end, he had to leave that particular engagement because of the tensions that had been going high at that particular point. So there does seem to be a sense that the community is saying that they are being frustrated by the fact that this particular government is not really heeding to some of their service delivery issues.
Just explain to me, did I hear you correctly that they chased the MMC away even though he said we're bringing a transformer? Or did I mishear that?
Indeed, Sal. In fact, it was the MMC for Roads and Transport, Mabekenyana Tahamale, who was here trying to resolve this issue. He had been sent, of course, by the city to try and quell tensions here. We know that the MMC for Energy was in a meeting we hear with the Minister of Public Enterprises. We understand that he was held up in that particular engagement. So he had tried to come here just to, tell residents what it is that they're doing as a city to resolve this issue. But when he arrived here, they made it quite clear, said that they were not willing to hear anything from him. In fact, they insisted that they want to hear from the MMC of Energy in this particular area, and that they were not going to take anything from him. So he had to leave that particular engagement, Sally.
Okay, I understand. Thank you so much. That's our reporter on the ground in KwaThema, Manqoba Mchunu. And of course, that falls under the city of Ekurhuleni. Residents there furious, saying that service delivery is really a massive problem. They're blaming the DA-led coalition government there. Still